Good afternoon, everybody, and we are back. Another lockdown live. And this afternoon, I'm going to be chatting with a really old hand in the South African photography industry, Ian Fleming. And I spoke to Warren Fleming, his son, earlier in this series. And Warren spoke to me, and I think it would have been good just to get his dad on as well and speak with somebody that's been through a lot of ups and downs in the industry over the years. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Then, on another note, I'll post a link below. I have started a dedicated Facebook page for this Lockdown Live series, posting all the old interviews on there. I try to do it on Instagram stories, but it's on Instagram TV, but you've got a 1 hour limit. And some of these goes 1 hour, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 15 minutes. So it's a bit of a mission to get this stuff up there. From there, I could post it to my Facebook page. So I figured let's just do a Facebook page dedicated to this only. So I did it. That's what I've been busy with the whole morning so far. The link will be in the description, and you guys can come and join us there. I'm going to be posting new announcements on there soon. Got some really interesting people coming up. I'm very excited about those. So right, let's get Warren and his dad Ian to come and chat to us. Hello.
Good day, Dewald.
Hi, Ian. How are you?
Hey, I'm not too bad, and you? It's first time I've spoken to you. It's really good to chat to you all the way down from the Western Cape.
Yeah. And it's always good to speak to people that's been around for a while.
Yeah, I have been around. I've spent 50 years shooting, and I'm now into my sort of year and a half of retirement. It's not retirement from photography, eh? It's retirement from photographic customers. Big difference.
And how is that going? The retirement from customers.
It's going well. You probably know that I've been a collector of vintage cameras.
Yes.
I'm going to show you one today that I've been restoring. I'm lucky to have a collection of around about 350 at the moment. Most of them are in cold storage in Knysna, and we hope to be putting them into a museum in Sedgefield at some stage. We are still looking for premises and the right sort of recipe to make it work.
Okay. And I think a lot of people don't know what goes into these old cameras and the value that they've got. Some of them is just amazing.
But I thought I'd just start off, and I'm an Olympus brand ambassador, and I know you're a Canon user. So specifically for you, I brought this for you to drool over. You hear the sound. I have many Canon cameras as well. I'm a lover of all brands. I'll talk to you a little bit later about my whole career in photography, how it started. It actually started with that.
Okay.
It's a long story, but I'm a lover of all cameras, and I have all camera brands in my collection. The latest one I have, I've just spent a long time restoring it. This is what it looks like now. The thing that we're trying to trace is the tripod mount. The tripod mount would have been that big.
So the tripod fits in that hole at the bottom and it closes it up.
Round slot, yeah. And this is a folding view camera, and it was made by a company called Vibata and Company from Osaka in Japan. And so far, I can't track much information down. Before I started on the camera, that was the finish on all the wood. It had been polished for years and years. And that's one of the old film holders. And this is one that's been now repaired. You'll see there's a massive difference in it. And it looks great. And it's a wonderful piece of kit. And you could actually still take photographs with it today. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But you've got to admit, that does look cool.
It's beautiful. Just a question. If you put a rubber gasket at the bottom of that thing and you add a flat piece of wood, it obviously won't be original, but it will close up the hole, and then you just put a normal tripod screw.
It wouldn't be a problem to make something like that, but I need to tell you that camera was sent to me by a good friend from Natal, Ken Mann. He's a member of our SAPP working group, and he sent it to me, and he's now trying to track down the owner to see if they can actually locate the tripod as well.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to keep things original.
Yes, yes.
What actually happened was, after I moved down from Joburg to Knysna, the guy that I bumped into, he was a retired pharmacist. And he said, look, I've got this Nikon S2. Would you like to buy it? And I had a look at it. Oh, this thing is beautiful. And I said, how much? And he said, $250. I said, you've got to be kidding. That thing's worth a hell of a lot more than that. And in any case, he said that's what the guy wanted. And that's when my collection started. And I need to say that every time I want to spend money on cameras, I got to talk to my wife, Glenda, my good wife, who supported me through all my years of photography. And I've actually not had to spend much on this stuff. The stuff just arrives. People walk in and they say, we hear you love these things. One day I got a phone call from a guy in Joburg. He said, I believe you love old Olympus cameras. I said, I like them all. And lo and behold, he sent me 47 kilograms of cameras and lenses. Sure. And at some stage, this stuff is all going to be put on display. And you see, I've got a beautiful light meter here. I must have at least 40 light meters. I've got a little fold-up enlarger that folds into a little suitcase that goes onto a wall. I've got Nikonuses. I've got German cameras. You might have heard of the great J.L.B. Smith, the coelacanth professor. I've got his baby Raleigh camera. It was donated to me by his son, William Smith, the English teacher that was always on TV.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have a lot of this stuff.
And have you got any very expensive cameras if you want to share? I don't know, some people don't like sharing those things, but something that's got a huge collector's value?
Well, the Nikon S2, first of all, has got a very high value. I've got quite a lot of Raleigh cords and Raleigh flexes that have got high values. I've got Linhof cameras, folding cameras with multiple lenses that are valuable. Of the sort of newer stuff, I've got Nikon F3s with bulk backs. I've got F4s, and you've seen the Canon. I've got German cameras, I've got Chinese cameras, and I've got rubbish cameras. I've got all sorts of cameras, but they're all lovely. You want to see the smallest one I have?
But all of them take pictures. Oh, and that works.
It still works. It was a micro, and it was a spy camera donkeys years ago, but it still works.
What film did that thing take?
Let's see if we can get it out and show you. There's the size of the cassette. and if the camera is going to pick that up. Tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, besides being a collector of cameras, I started out in photography. I don't know if you're keen on hearing the story.
Oh, please do. Yes.
I was terrible at school. I couldn't do maths. I didn't like my teachers. Unlike nowadays where you've got beautiful teachers all over the school, our teachers were old, they were grumpy, they all had buck teeth, ginger hair, or freckles, and they were bad-tempered, and I don't know, that none of them managed to teach me anything. I had this love for photography because my dad had a Yashica twin lens camera, and every time he went off to the movies, I used to pinch the thing, put on a tripod, and run around the garden taking light meter readings and playing with the camera. And then one day, a friend of mine down the road, his name was Des Churchman. He said, guys, we're starting a camera club, but one for youngsters. And 6 of us joined. I didn't own a camera, and I joined it. And the other 5 didn't own a camera. And what happened is we had lessons and what have you. And one day we were given an Instamatic, and the guy said, there's enough film in there for you each to take 2 shots. Color slide. Go and do your best. In any case, the long and short of it is I won the competition, and I won myself a small 35mm Helena camera. I thought it was brilliant. I've since learned it is a piece of junk, but it got me going. I set up a little darkroom at home, and I started shooting. And I really, really enjoyed it. Warren, that screen has disappeared. In any case, I really enjoyed it, Dewald. And I was processing and everything, and I got through standard 8 with a scrape, and I was in standard 9 and ready to sort of do something to my math teacher. And I went to my mom and I said to her, Mom, can I leave school and get a job? She said, yeah, stop. Sorry, I think we've lost signal. I don't know. I don't know how to reconnect this.